thick socks, thick sweater tights. Hank got it. I have been referred to as an edgy grandma. Word to the wise. It just feels right in my soul. Oh, hi. Welcome to So Nerd Studios. I am Jo, and this week I am desperate to make a project that I just saw inspiration from. So if you're on TikTok, I didn't used to get much in the way of TikTok shop ad fashion items, but I've had an influx of like very specific style bras, and there's this skirt that keeps coming around that I have plans for. But the most recent thing that's been coming up is this dress, like princess seam circle skirt or something on the bottom. It's not so much the cut of the dress as it is how it is taken in at the sides. It has such a cool look to it. And there's a dress that I thrifted a couple months ago that I wear once in a while, but it like does not spark joy in its current state. I like a good oversized flannel. That's actually what I was wearing before I tried this dress on. So I will switch back into it because it is so cold out. I got thick socks, thick sweater tights. I just got out of the shower. I like have barely dried my hair. And I went to check the mail and little bits just fully froze on my head. That used to happen a lot before school in the morning when they made us wait outside, which seems unreasonable to do in cold climates. Hot climates too, I'd imagine. I just want to turn the dress I thrifted into something that excites me a little more. Oh, I totally missed a button. This is big enough I can just like pull up over my head, which is not usually the case with like a button up. The arms fit really well. I don't think that needs to get taken in. Oh, this is the... I clipped it when I was fitting it and forgot it was there. It was like, what is happening to me? I have a couple thoughts on how to approach this. All of them involve this ribbon. I keep kicking the tripod. I'm so sorry. Can you tell how like urgently this idea struck me? Because I'm like, must do it now. Kind of strike while the iron is hot. And this has been in my work in progress to be upcycled pile for too long. And I'm trying to work through all of that stuff. That's like my focus for right now. And I'll do a video on that in a little bit. But I cannot express to you how stressful the pile behind you is, which I will show you my crimes in my like works in progress shame show and tell. But anyway, there's a couple options for how to go about this. In the photos I've taken screenshots of, I can see it's like ribbons and hardware. And I don't dislike the look of that, especially for the color scheme happening here. I do want something maybe a little softer. I don't want to add hardware to this. I absolutely see that suiting something less pastel-y. I wear almost all black or like jewel tone stuff. I have been referred to as an edgy grandma as far as my aesthetics, and then my business has been described as punk rock critters and then colorful macabre. I'm fine with these. I mean, I have titled myself with that one. Is that like super pretentious of me to do? That's what comes to mind. Anyway, so there's like edgier outfits where I think adding hardware would suit it. I don't think that's the case for this dress. So I have this pink ribbon and my thoughts on how to attach it. So I'm trying to think of how I've added lacing into some alterations I've done before, because I've done some wedding dresses for people and like bridesmaids dresses, turning something that was zippered that didn't fit into a corseted back, like a lace-up back. So either do that with some ribbon, because I have ribbon of many colors that could match this, and I would want a more subtle ribbon to have the loops, and then this be the standout accent piece, because there's this pink right here, but it's like just a little bit, and I like picking up the kind of discreet color. I mean, I have really thin white ribbon I could use, but I don't know white is the color I want to be adding to this. Actually, I think this is from the wedding dress that I think I used this to add little loops to it. I can show you a picture of the before and after. I'm very proud of how that project came out. I had to add like a little modesty panel. The other thing I did to that dress was add a bustle. It was kind of a neat like technique to do, but it was one loop that I created. This would be a bunch of loops. So I'll probably need at least 8 on each side. And do I have it in me to make that 16 times? Crazier things have been done. So let's see what kind of trouble I can get into. What are my other options? I feel like this is giving early sewing nerd days energy when I used to drink in every video. Remember? Especially for someone who literally works at a brewery, I barely drink. So I kind of forgot that was a thing I did every video. Every video. And then I never finished the project the night I was trying to film it because it was usually just a quick little thing and I could never get it done. Shocking. I couldn't focus. And then when I was like, you know what, I kind of just want to better my skills as a seamstress, I stopped doing it that way. But it's okay to be chaotic sometimes, so let's lean into this. I have not had anything to drink except not enough water, but I do have some coffee from a local shop, and it is 4 p.m. But one of the upsides of being ADHD brain person is that I can drink this right before bed and it doesn't fucking matter. Nothing fucking matters. Okay, let's breathe for a second. So this is one of my like random findings, notions, bins that I don't go into very often. Shoelaces, but it's inch wide ribbon, which is exactly what the alternative is. So that's not really a better option. There's old bra straps in here. I get a bunch of snaps, which one of the things I was considering doing, because I've done it on another flannel before that I turned into a dress, was ruche around. I can put a video card here if you want to see how I went about that project. I do like that dress, but it pulled so much on the buttons in the center because the stretch was happening all the way around, and I had to add some snaps between the buttons to keep the placket closed, but it still pulls a little bit on those spots, and I don't love that. Let's see, I've got some piping. I don't think piping is the answer. No, there's not a way to thread through it without having the raw edges exposed. I have some rickrack. I don't know. It makes me think of gingerbread houses. I've never been a big fan of rickrack used in any kind of traditional sense. Yeah, and the rest of this is like decorative elastic. So I don't think my answer lies in this bin. I have this bag that houses all of my bias tape. So this is bias tape I made for a Christmas present I did for someone that I have zero documentation of. I spent a day and a half working on this bag, made no note of it. This was actually gifted to me from some friends that visited Paris. They got me some pink elephant bias tape. But let's see, I do have this really narrow, what do we think? This really narrow bias tape. That's hard to use on a lot of other things. Where like, this is my preferred width. So this is like a quarter of that. That's a contender for sure. Oh, wait, oh, this is the smallest piece. This would be perfect. But that's all I have of that, I think. Oh, one more tiny bit. On the other hand, this is way too wide and also too dark for what we're doing. Okay, after all that, I don't think I'm using any of the bias tape or any of the other notions I picked out. I think I'm going with my first thought, which was ribbon. They did look at what squares ribbon was actually going to be stitched to, and it is the darker panels, so to keep it more discreet, this is like a perfect shade match, this ribbon. This is sparking more joy, so we're gonna go this direction. As soon as I held this up to this, it like clicks. Does anybody else design like that? Is that how you go about things? It's just like, it just feels right in my soul. And that's all I can do to explain myself. So no bustle loop techniques. I learned it from another YouTube video. If I can find the specific video, I will link it. And obviously this is gonna go much quicker if I'm just doing the ribbon. So I have maybe 15-20 minutes to get this done if I want to do it today. So once I decided to use the inch wide ribbon, I couldn't decide what length I wanted it to be and how far apart I wanted everything. And I kept trying to make it super overcomplicated and then realized, like, why don't I just fold it in half and make a loop? It'll look plenty nice that way. It's gonna look fine. It's gonna get scrunched up anyway. And The upside of using a plaid is that there's lines you can follow, and you can just kind of pick how you want things to lay. And I put them a little further apart because I want some of the pink ribbon to be showing. So let's add the pink ribbon and see how it's looking. It doesn't have to be complicated. I'm trying to share how to easily DIY something I keep seeing online, so you don't feel as compelled to buy that thing yourself and just do it on your own. You know? So let's, just try to keep it simple. God forbid something be like straightforward and easy. All right, I just learned very quickly that it's easier to do this bit when you're not wearing it. So, word to the wise, I'm just crisscrossing it like a shoelace. Nothing fancy. Also, does it count as it being the same day if you slept in your clothes and are still wearing them the following morning? I did get dressed at like 5 p.m. last night. So I essentially put all of my clothes on as pajamas after I took a shower. So I'm going to count that as it still being my first day of wearing the other garments I had on. You know what? This is a judgment-free zone, okay? All right, man, I really like these colors together. It's making my brain whir in a good way. So, let's do like preliminary cinching. Oh, hell yeah! Oh man, I like that so much. It feels nice too. Let's do like a side by side. I don't know that my editing skills are at a point I can do them over each other, but maybe. I like this very much. And then just tie a little knot down here. A little bow. Right? And then this side. Like so. I love this. I had a moment of panic where I was like, I don't know if this is going to do what I want it to do. Oh, I love it. I love it. How cute. I'm going to keep this on. I've technically changed for the day. I'm going to go out and get some breakfast to celebrate some good news for once. Not that I can share it with you, but good things. Speaking of good things, by the way, that project I did 2 videos ago, so like probably my first project of the year, that Piples Room pillow, the cross stitch pillow I made, Hank got it, which is pretty mind-blowing. Hank Green received it. He posted a picture of it, I assume in his house. That really broke my brain. I saw it had been delivered to where I sent it, and then he shared it on Blue Sky and also shared the link to the video that I did. So hi to any new folks that came over from that. That was very cool. But yeah, I'm happy with this. What do we think? What's the verdict? Too silly? I'm glad I didn't add the hardware. I don't think it would have worked with the color palette. Like, this just has a slightly different vibe than the other ones, but again, I am not opposed to the like edgier tone of the dress this was inspired by. But what a cute, fun, quick way, and like pretty easy, even though I tried my damnedest to overcomplicate it. Much better than doing rows and rows and rows of elastic thread, because this would definitely be pulling more. And I like that that's not happening here. I'm so pleased. In other news, I've been putting some stuff together this morning so that I can go bring some goodies to that cat cafe. That is a spot you can like adopt kitties that are going to be hanging out there, but they're also selling like local makers stuff. And I have some cat fabric bags that I'm going to pitch. Be like, would you like to sell these? It didn't occur to me until the last email from the owner that I'm going to need to like put some kind of display situation together, like however you hang things. So I packed up all my hardware and some grid cubes with one of the pegboards on it and the accoutrement for that. I'm going to bring a bunch of stuff so that way I have some options, because I don't know what the space is gonna look like in general, but also not where my stuff is gonna go. And I hope this works out well, because the one market I've had so far this year did not go particularly well. So forever and always, thank you so much to everybody over on my Patreon, because I literally wouldn't be able to be doing all of this stuff, running my business and everything without your support. So when I say it means the world, like, I am at a loss for words on how to express it to you properly. It's never going to be possible for me to express to you how much it means. So thank you all for being here. I hope those of you that got the physical perks liked the goodies I sent. It was a zine this month for the Mailtime Perk folks, and I really like the ideas I came up with. This was one of the projects that I did a sketch for. It's a little fashion zine that I put out. I try to do quarterly, and we did it. So I'm gonna try to do the other ones next. That's on the docket. I've already started picking apart some of the other flannels. It was a flannel themed zine because we're in the winter, baby, and I'm trying to work through my whips, and this has been one of them for quite a bit. As for me, I will see you back here with another video in 2 Fridays. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bert continues to take it super personally that it is so cold out, as if I have inflicted this weather upon him. That's not a tangent we need to go down. He's get into it about our educational system. Ran in here with this and was like, TikTok is trying to show me the way.